Hi guys, welcome back to the Ants Subang YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to take you very close to how a Diacamma larvae feeds as well as how they turn themselves into pupae. There are not many videos out there showing this process. I find this a great opportunity to share with you what I experienced. I really enjoyed watching my ants from time to time. When an opportunity like this materializes, I will not hesitate to capture it on video. Sometimes you will not get the results that you want, and the ants aren't really listening to you either. They do what they want, when they want it. This is what makes making videos of ants the hardest. If you give yourself a little patience, you will definitely get good results. Those who have followed my journey to preserve my Diacamma colony will be familiar with this following story. I personally think that the success of this colony and the further extension of life given to them is because of their hard work and luck. Although the previous Gamergate has passed, a new one has been formed. This wouldn't have happened without help from myself. With the introduction of wild Diacamma drones, a winged male, I was able to successfully continue the colony's lifespan. The social systems of ants have different castes, including queens, males, and workers, with each having a specific responsibility in the colony. Ants undergo a complete metamorphosis that includes the egg, larvae, pupae, and adult. The Diacamma, on the other hand, is a really cool genus of ant, and they belong to the Ponerini tribe. They do not have a queen because they have the most primitive biology for reproduction in the animal kingdom. They are also called queenless ants, or the workers that are able to produce eggs are called Gamergate. They play a key role in the reproductive department of labor in Diacamma. Some of you might not know this either, but they will mutilate any new gamete born within hours of their first emergence. Only one Gamergate can retain her status within a nest, and the only time the Gamergate is replaced is if she dies naturally. The majority of ants feed their larvae regurgitated food. This way of feeding is called trophallaxis. Diacamma is an exception to this, as are a few other ant genuses whose larvae are fed on solid food scraps. Diacamma broods are raised in small amounts at a time. Unlike other species, Diacamma eggs are not kept in a pile of sticky egg mounts. The eggs are constantly held in the jaws of the workers, and never left unattended for long. The larvae are very active and can be seen waving their heads around when they are hungry and looking for food. The workers fed the larvae by placing food directly over the larvae. When they do that, it triggers a feeding frenzy. Workers will constantly bite on the food, so it becomes soft, and makes it easier for the larvae to latch on and feed on. The quantity and quality of nutrition is one of the most important factors in the successful development of a Diacamma colony. The frequency of feeding for Diacamma for me is usually 2 to 3 days, depending on what I feed for protein. They are fed with a variety of insect feeders, but I particularly like feeding them superworms and crickets. Another thing to mention is that feeding your insect feeders with fresh apples or carrots will make them juicier. If you know what I mean, whatever nutrients you feed your feeders will go directly into your ant colony as well. Sometimes I can tell if the colony is hungry just by looking at the larvae, the offspring of the colony. The larvae would spin around and sway, as though begging for food. In fact, this method could be what influences the nest carers to find food and encourages them to feed. It is a sight to behold how ferocious the Diacamma larvae can be. They can extend their heads and move around until they latch onto the food. They will eat until they have enough. Once they have had their fill, they will remain immobile. Larvae that show high movements are fed more frequently by workers. The larvae knew they had to bulk up for the next life cycle that would take a lot of energy out of them, the pupae stage. I have kept Diacamma long enough to know that if sufficient food is not given to them, you will see many underdeveloped larvae dead. Even if one larvae manages to enclose themselves into a thick, dark brown cocoon, their success rate in becoming an adult ant isn't guaranteed. Diacamma always uses debris in the nest to cover mature larvae to assist them in spinning silk to form a cocoon shell. The larvae are literally buried in debris. The workers will assist in sticking debris onto the larvae, which is used to spin silk. The spinning of silk cocoons will take many hours, and this stage is very crucial depending on the strength of the larvae. This will determine if they make it into adults. Having not binged enough on food during the larvae's development will spell death during the silking process or after enclosing. Dead cocoons are usually cut open by the workers and the pupae discarded, but not before parading the dead within the entire nest. Once the larvae are successfully enclosed in their shape, the workers will remove the debris to expose the dark brown cocoon. Work continues within the cocoon, and you can see the larvae are still hard at work inside trying to reinforce the walls. We have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did making it. Watching my ants tending to their broods is what I like most about ant keeping. It also relaxes me after hours of stress at work. Over the years of ant keeping, they have taught me to be hardworking, and they remind me to keep myself busy. It's an indescribable feeling of joy, and I am happy to share this video with my viewers. Thank you for watching. Ants Subang's official YouTube channel.